Welcome back to Talking Lead. This is episode 40, and we are out at the YouTube Range Day 2013 with Iraq veteran 8888, which consists of... Now, who's the Iraq veteran?
Me, Eric.
You are? Okay.
Yeah, Eric is the Iraq veteran.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And Barry
I'm
is...
a Civil War veteran.
I was going to ask. You look a little...
long in the beard there.
He's reincarnated.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are at, what do you guys call this shoot?
Well, this is our 2013 YouTuber shoot, and essentially it's sort of a spin on trying to get a lot of the gun channels together and just to do meet and greet and cross promotion, and also to get a lot of manufacturers out here to showcase their product. And it's really just a great opportunity for people to get together, hang out, shoot some guns, talk shop. It's pretty much like a giant business meeting, except with guns.
Which
like
makes awesome business meeting.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I wish every podcast we'd have this background noise.
What annual is this? This like third,
This
fourth?
is the first one.
First annual.
Yeah, this is the first year that we've had it.
Inaugural.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, we are honored. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely wanted to have you guys down, and we had a lot of other great YouTube channels show up. TN Outdoors 9. We had Tim from Military Arms Channel, 22 Plinkster, Fate of Destiny. You guys, I mean, we just
you
had
got the Suture out here also.
Yeah, we got Such 00 out here, and man, it's been some star power. Almost feel kind of intimidated.
There is
around all these awesome people.
I don't know though. Y'all are probably the biggest channel now here, right?
Well, yeah, but it's weird. We just got started with the YouTube stuff, and we never really looked at it as being a very big deal. It just kind of took off and kind of part of it.
I actually went to Moss Pond years and years ago. Then when I started watching the YouTube videos and I saw you guys, and then in one of the videos y'all said something about Moss Pond. I was like, wait a minute. I think I've been there. And I was like, is that on the south side of Atlanta? I looked it up and sure it was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his business has been there for 37 years.
How long have y'all been there?
Yeah, I've been there 12 years, and the Mosses are great folks. We can use the shop for, supplies and things like that. We've got everything we need right there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Usually, and of course we're a class 3 now. We're selling suppressors, and we're getting into that line right now.
Are the Mosses behind this event as well?
Yes, they are.
You guys?
Yes, they are. They offer their support quite often. Sometimes, it might just be in the form of, here's a few boxes of ammo. Don't worry about paying for it because you're, doing videos where you're mentioning Moss Pond.
Right.
But essentially, it's kind of weird. I mean, in a good way, but the YouTube page has kind of become almost the face of Moss Pond, in terms of the things that we showcase and the guns and everything. And
right.
They've definitely seen a pretty interesting increase in foot traffic, and we're getting people from all over the world. We have YouTubers come in from Sweden and Australia, Germany, England, all over the dang place. Places I've never even heard of.
I know when I came in a couple weeks ago, I felt kind of weird. I was like, is Eric working today? Which y'all probably don't get a lot of that now, do you?
Yeah, actually we do. Yeah, we get a lot of people come by, and, it'll be that thing where someone's walking around in the shop and they're kind of looking at you like... giving you that eyeball, and I'm like, yeah, you watch the videos, don't you? Yeah, I do. I just didn't want to say anything.
Now, has anybody come into the shop just to come into the pawn shop and then recognized y'all and not realize the connection?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're about 5 miles from the airport, and when they hit that rent-a-car and they know where we are, they come in, and sometimes they don't buy anything, but they want to say hey and shake our hand, and we'll give them a T-shirt.
Yeah, we got your autographs down pat.
Oh, yeah.
You got that all worked out, all nice and pretty and everything.
Yeah, the whole autograph thing is, I guess, kind of neat. I would have never pictured myself being someone that gives people autographs, but they ask me, and if they want it, I'll give it to them. So.
All right, so I got to ask you this. What's the most unique thing that somebody's asked you to autograph?
Well, I autographed a piece of shrapnel today from a blown-up refrigerator. I guess that's kind of weird, autographing shrapnel.
Yes.
That was pretty damn awesome, I have to say.
And if anything comes to that, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plausible deniability.
Yes.
How about you, Barry?
Well... unusual autograph.
Have you?
We autograph a lot of guns.
Yeah.
We autograph a lot of guns.
What's the coolest gun you've autographed?
I don't know.
It didn't have to be Eric's.
Well, sometimes we do Glock, things like that.
Yeah.
People buy them. Yeah,
that's cool.
Or we'll autograph their magazines for the Glock or something like that.
We've autographed a lot of magazines, and we've probably autographed a few Arsenal AKs. I mean, believe it or not, we got those guys that are just hard up on com block weaponry, and they really love the AKs and stuff. And I had one guy wanted me to autograph his stock. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird, but
is that one of y'all's biggest sellers, the AK?
Well,
When you can get them, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you can't get anything hardly worth anything anymore unless it's an Arsenal from Las Vegas. Now, the Washer 10s are drying up. You can't find those hardly at all.
Right.
And they've doubled in price.
That's not really a huge loss, though.
So, you know.
Those things aren't really all... I mean, they're okay. They're functional, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of better guns out there for the money.
Are there any new guys getting in on the AK?
Well, really,
new kids
I think, honestly, that with AKs, the best value for the money is going to be like a converted Sega. Because essentially an Arsenal is going to be nothing more than that. So if you're, if you can find an unconverted Sega rifle, 545 by 39, add a bullet guide, trim the latch, do the conversion work, add all the 922R parts, and you've got an amazing little rifle for not a ton of money.
Yeah.
So to me, those are the best AK variants.
Yeah.
Questions to both of you. Kind of get both your answers, and we'll go to the next one. How did you originally get into guns?
Me first. Well, my grandpa got me into guns at a very early age. And I grew up, killing squirrels and rabbits with 22s, and I think I had my first single-shot 22 rifle when I was about 9 years old.
Wow!
And shot a lot of 22s. And first pistol I ever got into, my grandpa used to let me shoot his 1911 all the time.
All right.
So I got started on single action, 1911, and really I got started at a very young age, just like a lot of American men are. I mean, a lot of young men get into guns at an early age, whether it's through their parents or whatever. And I always had a fascination with guns growing up. I didn't really get completely head over heels into firearms until I was in the service. And with that typical service, of course, you're going to be shooting 50 cals and 240 Bravos and all kind of fancy stuff. That's
stuff
fun
you
to
don't
sling
shoot
lead
squirrels with, right?
You don't shoot squirrels with a Ma Deuce, unless you're really sadistic. But, we won't go there.
So Barry, how about you?
Well, my dad started me shooting about 6 or 7 years old. I still remember the first 22 I ever fired. It was a nylon 66 Remington.
Nice.
And he did a lot of hunting. Now, he didn't have guns. Back in those days, you didn't have to have guns you never thought about defending your home, with an assault rifle or something like that. But he had hunting guns. And he was into hunting, and when I got turned on to guns, we started collecting guns, and it was a point we probably had 150 guns in the house. And then, of course, when he died, I hadn't been hunting in years and years. I just don't care anything about it anymore. But I had a loaded pistol in my room when I was 8 years old, and Mama raised hell about it for about 3 days. And Daddy said, look, we live out in the middle of nowhere in the country, and he's got a gun in his room, and that's where he's going to stay there. So she finally got over it. Gotcha. But it took her a long time to get over it.
Now, that's pretty common, in American society growing up. I mean, there's
especially in the South.
Yeah, well, in the South, a lot of young men have guns at a very early age, and
in the rural areas,
society generally, labels people like us as crazies and all this kind of stuff. But
we're not.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe in a good way, but I just think what people don't realize is that, we are average people. It's just we're average people that own and shoot guns.
Yep.
That's the only
responsibly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the key word there, is responsibly. Now, Barry, do you still have that 22?
No, I don't. My dad sold that a long time ago.
He did. Oh, that'd be awesome if you still had that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had all of his guns at one point, but when you get married and start having kids, you look at the gun hanging on the wall in the empty cabinets in the kitchen, and you sell the guns.
That's right.
What would Dad do? He would take care of us,
That's
so
right.
that's what's happened to most of his guns. They got sold or traded or whatever.
So our second question, and obviously the name of your YouTube channel kind of tells us a little bit about it, but tell us about your military, and if you have any law enforcement background, tell us about that also.
Well, I don't have any law enforcement experience at all, but I joined the Guard right out of high school, which is, for people that don't know, it's basically like reservists, but you basically drill in your home state, whereby I guess if you were to join the reserves, you may go somewhere else. But I went in the Guard and, went that route and went through basic training, got deployed to Iraq in 2005. I was young at the time. I think I was 20, maybe 21 when I went over there, so I was still pretty wet behind the ears and kind of dumb and naive.
Sure.
And that was kind of part of that whole situation. But at the time, I was doing what I thought was right, and what I thought was being asked of me. I felt that it was my responsibility to do what I, committed myself to do.
Right.
I may not agree for all the reasons that we were there or why we went over there, but I did it, and now I'm back. And there's just too many politics in the military, especially in like Guard and reserve units. There's just a lot of measuring and just stupid crap that goes on, and it's all this goody guy crap and you know, good old boy stuff. You got to know someone to get anywhere. You know, if you weren't like best buds with the guy outside of work, you weren't going to get anywhere. And you know, it's just one of those things. I just got tired of the politics involved around it, and I was just ready to move on with my life. And not to say that I viewed it as a, you know, mistake. I don't feel that way, but you know, I just kind of felt like I was at a stage in my life where I just didn't really feel like my heart was in it anymore.
Sure.
And I was just ready to be away from it and move on.
Gotcha. What about you, Barry?
Well, I never was in the military. The Vietnam War ended the year before I graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
But if it had gone on, I would definitely have went, because back then we had draft cards. I was 19 years old, single, no kids. I would definitely have been shipped out.
Right there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I had a lot of buddies that I went to school with that were like 5 years older than me, and a lot of them died over there. A lot of them never came back.
Wow.
But I never was in the military. I got married and I started having kids, and that exempted me right there, see, from the draft. Of course, the draft isn't going on anymore.
Sure.
They don't need the draft. But anyway, no, I was never in the military.
When it comes to pop culture, whether it be TV show, movie, music, books, video games, if it involves firearms, what's your go-to? What's your favorite?
My favorite firearms-related
pop culture
stuff.
Whether it's a movie, a TV show, whatever.
You know, I do enjoy first-person shooter video games. I am going to admit, you know, I do play the Zombies game, and, you know, I like the BioShock franchise. So I do play BioShock, and I like the Fallout franchise.
Oh,
you know, kind of
yes,
the
sir.
RPG elements.
Yes, sir, right here.
Man.
I love.
Yeah, well, you know, I do like video games. I don't have time to play them anymore like I'd like to. Because believe me, if all I had to do was drink grape soda and sit on my ass and play video games, I probably would. But unfortunately, in a realistic world that we live in, I can't exactly get away with that. In terms of movies, I don't know, gun-related. I mean, of course, I like Clint Eastwood westerns, John Wayne.
Yeah.
I love a good western. I really am a big fan of Stanley Kubrick. Any of Stanley Kubrick's films, gun-related or otherwise, I really love his style.
Classic.
Oh, yeah. I love A Clockwork Orange. It's a great movie. And, of course, you know, who can't like Full Metal Jacket?
Yep.
And, you know, I'm really
Eyes Wide Shut?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If you're a card-toting gun owner and you haven't seen Full Metal Jacket, you're doing yourself an injustice. Man, it's just a great movie.
Yeah. No, I was talking about Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that movie as well. Yeah, you know,
that's Kubrick, too.
Kubrick really caught a lot of flack over Eyes Wide Shut.
Is that the Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman movie?
Yeah. Yes, that's the one where, you know, there's all these conspiracies that are floating around about the fact that, okay, they think that Stanley Kubrick was assassinated by some Illuminati insider because he was giving away secrets of the Illuminati during the ritual scenes in the movie.
Oh, my God.
And all the little crazy little hints that they leave in the movie and signs and things that would... You know, that they think that he's trying to give away secrets about masonry. And I don't think it was quite that elaborate.
We got to go his pop culture route here.
Yeah, come on, hit us with
as far as movies,
Playboy don't count.
As far as movies go, I don't really care about the movie itself. I care about the actors and actresses in the movie. Now, back in the olden days, Jimmy Stewart and all these actors and all Jimmy Cagney that are dead now, they were heart and soul people. Now you get a movie, and you can tell. I know they do a lot of things with computers, and it looks fantastic special effects, but you know it's special effects.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a modern movie really doesn't hold my interest.
So good old-fashioned acting.
Yeah, right. Good
old westerns,
old-fashioned
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart and Jimmy Cagney and things like that. In fact, in Public Enemy #1, he's looking out of a window, and they actually shot the window out with a real Tommy gun, and he almost didn't duck in time.
Really?
They didn't have special effects like that.
They used real stuff.
I didn't know that.
We know that's why I like Clint Eastwood so much, because in his movies he's just always so genuine.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the best actors are the ones that they're themselves. They just have lines, but they're acting like themselves.
Or you get somebody like Jimmy Stewart, he can play any part. I don't never recall him being in an Army movie.
I don't remember if he was.
But he played, you know, he like in the movie The Flight of the Phoenix. Oh, he fantastic actors through that movie. And I can watch that movie 100 times.
Is there or has there ever been a gun in your collection that you were ashamed to admit to owning?
Or maybe even just a little bit embarrassed to say, oh yeah, I had that?
Well, yeah, I owned a High Point 9mm at one point.
Yeah, High Point 45.
Speaking of High Point,
somebody's shooting one out here that you
and it's a zombie spirit.
Yeah, I did the zombie scat on it for her. She wanted a crazy zombie Duracoat job, so that's what we ended up doing.
It's like a zombie green, purple kind of.
Yeah, she wanted, had silver and hot pink and all.
Hey, she's proud of it. She was out there firing away on it.
I've seen y'all's High Point video where y'all do everything possible to destroy that thing, and it keeps firing.
They are tough guns.
Yeah.
Well, the reason you can't blow it up is it's a blowback. The more powerful round you put in it, the faster the slide comes back. We shot loads in a High Point, and we're going to do this one day. I guarantee you would have busted a Glock.
Yeah.
Because it's a lock breech.
Right.
But at the moment of high pressure with a High Point, the slide opens and all that pressure goes out the side. We were shooting loads in it. They're 3 times maximum, and it was functioning fine.
Doing just fine. Probably doing better.
Y'all were ramming bolts down the.
Did you?
You cannot hurt that gun.
Did you see the one where we converted a 40 into a 10mm?
No, I haven't seen
it. Fired
that.
100 rounds flawlessly.
Yeah, we took a 9x23 chambering reamer and reamed it out, and then finished it up with a 10 mil chambering reamer.
All right, which one of y'all came up with that idea?
That was me and Ray's idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we were bored at the shop one day. Like, you know what? We're going to punch one of these out to 10. No. Yes, we are. Okay, and there it is.
Okay.
And in 10 minutes, we're in the back and pulling strings and, trying to make
working
it
like a
That's
12.
awesome.
Work great.
So what about you? What's your embarrassing firearm that you have?
High Point 45.
Oh, okay.
I think all of us have that point in our firearms, I guess, history where we look back and go, yeah, I owned a High Point.
Mine was a Lorson 380.
Lorson,
Yeah.
High Point. I mean, those guns are beginners' guns or people that don't want to spend a lot of money or they're not sure if they want to invest in an expensive gun. But once you really get it, you understand that, the gun industry is just so awesome. It's full of so many great people, so many friendly people. It's just a great industry, especially if you're a customer. There's just so many great products out there.
Mm-hmm.
Why skimp on the money? Save up and buy something nice. I think that's where most of us fall into.
Well, I've waited on customers. There'll be a man or woman to go buy a gun. If she wants to buy a nice gun, like a Glock,
right?
And he says, well, there's a High Point over there. They all do the same thing. Well, really? Do they do the same thing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they do.
What's our new
one
favorite
does it a lot
saying?
better than another.
Is poor man can't buy.
Poor man can't buy it twice.
Right.
Pay a little bit more.
Pay a little bit more.
It's going to last longer. You're not going to have to buy it again twice.
That's it.
As far as guns go, what is next on your bucket list? What's the next one you just got to have?
Well, I just picked up a Scar Heavy.
Okay.
And I've really
that
been
count if you
I've been a big fan of that, but that leads me to my next thing. Tim from Military Arms Channel today brought out the Tavor. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably the next one I want to get my hands on.
Really? You're
that
digging
has
that?
jumped to my top after
It's
I
a nice
shot
gun.
it.
It really is. At first, I wasn't sure if I was going to be completely on board with the ergonomics of it and the accuracy, but it's definitely accurate. It's got a nice feel to it, and I think Tim upgraded the trigger in that one, so very nice gun.
Well, I
only shot one mag out of it, but I'd like to, shoot it some more.
Well, most bullpups with me, with my long arms, it all contorts me, but for some reason, the ergonomics of it, I'm able to shoot it okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, they designed it around the human body, around natural shooting position, so they really did their homework with that rifle, and it really is nice.
Gotcha. What about you, Barry? What's your next want to?
Well, I really don't have a want. I would like to have a 1919 semi like he's got set up down there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford a real one.
Gotcha.
But I mean, that's just a fun
something like
gun.
that.
Yeah.
So is of all the guns, think back that you've owned, which one would you like to have back that you don't have currently?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you right now. I picked up a Venezuelan contract FN49, semi-automatic 7mm. They only made 8,000 of them. And it was just, if you know anything about FN rifles, or specifically the FN49, I mean, it was a gun that was, wasn't really early enough to affect World War II, but it was late enough to where it didn't matter anymore.
Sure.
So the guns were obsolete before they ever even really issued. And Venezuela ordered 8,000 guns, and I have one that was in pretty much like museum quality mint condition.
Right.
It was a beautiful rifle. And if you know anything about the FN49, it was basically the grandfather of the FAL.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like an early version of the FAO. And I sold that gun, and I was paid handsomely for it. But I tell you what, if there was one gun I could have back, it'd have to be that one.
Wow.
That thing was so damn nice.
That sounds beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, it just had real crisp cartouches on it, perfect markings, not a spot of rust on it, just perfect example. Probably like the nicest Venezuelan contract FN-49 in existence. I sold it.
Did you take pictures
I'll never
of
get
it?
that one back.
Did you take pictures of it?
Yep.
Oh, so you get to cry every time you see
I got
it.
pictures of it.
You got memories. You got your mementos.
Man, I'm telling you, it was nice.
That stinks. What about you, Barry?
Well, I had a mint condition 1903 Springfield, and I pawned it, and it turned out it was a stolen gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a guy in Marietta had 26 Springfields stole from his house 21 years before that, and that was the first one that ever showed up.
Wow.
It was a slick gun, too. Accurate, beautiful.
Did they try to come after you? Did they try to come after you? Or?
Well, I bought it from a gun shop legitimately, so I had a receipt for it.
Gotcha.
And I had a mint condition M1 Garand. Those are the two guns that I would really like to have back.
Nice.
But I can't get the Springfield back. I don't know where the M1 is.
I love my Garands, man.
Nice.
One of my favorite rifles. M1 Garand's just a great gun.
Now, with y'all's YouTube channel, you're part of the Outdoor Hub, right?
Yes, we are.
That's just, it's a network of YouTubers and TV shows, all outdoor stuff?
Well, essentially, yes. I mean, they run like pretty much the whole gamut of, different website-related things, and they pump a lot of things across their networks, and they have a variety of websites they run, and they basically network with the rest of us, and essentially the nice thing about being a part of a network like Outdoor Hub is that if you're a gun channel, especially a larger gun channel like ours, it gives you a little bit of collective bargaining.
Sure.
That way, if, for one, going for advertisers, because only a network can sell advertising direct outside of the standard ad pool on AdSense on Google. I don't know how business you want to get in this conversation, but basically, it's just good networking when you can pull all of the YouTubers together under one umbrella and then say, look, we've got, a network with 35, 40 million collective views, 20 to 22, 25 of the top YouTube channels that are gun and outdoor related. And that means a lot more when you go into a company saying, look, we want to talk about some advertising. And advertising revenue is how many of us are able to make the videos. I mean, obviously, if we didn't get any kind of compensation for our time, then obviously we wouldn't be able to make the videos. So, I mean, it's the revenue and the money we get back for making the videos that allows us to take on bigger and better projects.
Sure.
And obviously, the more you bring in, the more you can invest and make the video, really awesome. So we try to do that. I mean, we're not... some of the things we do is more like a vlogger style, like the gun gripes, firearms facts. I take a little bit more time and effort to produce and put together, but ultimately the goal is for the content to be, for the YouTubers, for the people that are watching. I mean, we make our content; it is viewer driven. We take their thoughts and their comments into consideration. And that's what we use to determine what the next videos are going to be. People tell us what they want to see, and we make it. You guys, y'all want to hear Zeke and them do a podcast on a certain subject, swarm them, tell them, and they'll do it.
Well, thanks for having us out to this. It's a blast so far, and we still got another 10 hours today, and then.
Well, yeah. It's going to go into the night if we can keep from getting the 5-0 called on us. We have already had a visit from the local law enforcement. And, they basically acknowledge that we're not doing anything wrong, but, of course, we are making a ton of racket.
Yes.
So, we are making some rather large noises, and I'm sure there's some trailers around here whose windows are shaking and babies are crying right now. But
I never realized refrigerators were that loud. That is the loudest refrigerator.
Yes, they are. The compressor on that thing was malfunctioning.
It was horrible.
It really blew up. So,
it was
never
bad.
seen one go that high either.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't know they could fly.
Yeah. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all coming out and everything.
No problem.
And
It was a
we
blast.
definitely wanted to get, everybody out to just meet and greet, cross promotion. So we appreciate y'all coming out, and thanks for letting us come talk on your podcast.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right,
Be
guys.
on again.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This is kind of a continuation of episode 40.
We are still at the range.
Yep. It's
We're in Ball Ground, Georgia.
YouTube Range Day 2013, put on by Iraq veteran 8888. And let's just jump right into our very special guest we have
Let's
here
do it.
in the mobile lead sled.
How do you like our studio?
It's very cozy.
So we've got Destiny from Faded Destiny on YouTube. How are you?
Thanks for joining us.
It is my pleasure. Thanks for having me. It is a beautiful day out here.
It's
Is it
perfect. We couldn't ask for any better weather.
Have you been to anything like this before?
Well, I was in Florida, but it's still not quite the same. I mean, especially just looking around, Florida is quite flat, at least the area that I was in. And up here, the rolling hills and all the greenery is just gorgeous.
What about the explosions? Do you have these kind of explosions in Florida?
No, or in Wisconsin for that matter. I've seen where to buy tannerite, but I don't know where to actually I'm allowed to shoot it.
So tell me the funnest gun you've shot since you've been here.
Ooh, Beowulf was fun.
Oh, did you get to shoot that?
Was that you?
Yeah, the Beowulf with the 9-inch barrel.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Shot it with shot it unsuppressed and then shot it with a titanium suppressor. That was both. That was really
How was the
really
kick
neat.
on that?
Unsuppressed 9-inch barrel. Unsurprisingly, quite a noticeable recoil.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, not out of control or anything, but it was. I definitely had to have it in real tight, and it took me a second to realign shots or realign my sights after that first shot. But with the suppressor on, more manageable. But it's got quite a bark to it, even with the suppressor.
I can imagine. I hadn't shot it yet, but I heard it a minute ago, and it sounded just like the tannerite was going off again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
pretty
got
incredible.
A boom. Definitely.
Nice little testosterone boost there.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It definitely is one of those like fun novelty guns, like the Magnum 500, where I don't know that I would be, it'd be practical for me to shoot it all the time, partly because it's kind of expensive to shoot, but that doesn't change the fact that I want one.
Yeah, those Beowulf rounds are probably about $3 a pop or something like that.
Yeah, in
It's
that
up
range.
there. Yeah, we were going to shoot a 338 Lapua down here, and we went to get
even
ammo.
brought it,
We've
too.
even got it in the truck. We went to get ammo, and it was for 20 rounds, $139.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
stuff
nah.
is obscenely priced.
Yeah, we won't be shooting that one.
We might show it to people, but if they've got the ammo, they can shoot it.
So-
It's all they want.
So how did you originally get into guns, Destiny?
Well, my family has always kind of handed them around. Like my one side of the family, they do a lot of hunting, so they've got the shotguns and rifles. But then my dad, since I was little, I can remember him going out to the range and shooting with his friends, and me sitting with really huge ear protection on the bench with my feet, dangling because I couldn't quite reach the ground, just watching him have fun with rifles. And eventually I got big enough. He started teaching me how to shoot, so it's something that I've kind of had in my family.
Do you remember
my
the
life.
first firearm you fired?
Do BB guns count?
Sure,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well, that was the first gun that I learned firearm safety, because my little brother got one for Christmas present, and oh my gosh, I was just green with envy. But my brother, being the awesome person he is, of course, shared with me, and Dad taught us range safety at the same time using that BB gun. And then by 7, I was doing a turkey shoot with a little youth shotgun, and
Nice.
I just kind of moved up a little bit since then.
Very
Gotcha.
cool.
And
Now, we'll probably go ahead and skip this question because you're too young, I'm sure, to have any military or law enforcement background. So,
how old are you?
24.
Jeez.
okay, wow, I thought you were like 18 or 19. Okay, so have you had any military or law enforcement background?
My family's military. Both my
Experience.
parents are veterans. My brother's actually deployed overseas right now.
Oh, wow.
I've taken my ASVAB, but then when I got the results back, I decided if I do decide to go into the military, I'm going to wait till after I finish my degree, which is taking me a little while.
Yeah. What
Those
are you working
degrees are
on?
expensive. Biology with an emphasis in pre-med, and
Sweet.
I absolutely, the only 2 things I can talk to you just till I'm blue in the face are guns and human bio specifically. I got
Oh, we're going to have to sit down later.
tutored biology, anatomy, and physiology. I just can't get enough of this stuff. But I am also doing a ton of writing with thearmsguide.com. I'm managing editor for that site. And so figure while I'm still in school, I may as well throw in a few English credits and maybe double major in English. I was double majoring in art, but I kind of see a little bit more career prospect
Yeah,
in
looking for the
English than in
future
art.
now. Yeah.
I mean, I like art, but which is kind of funny. A lot of people, when they know about the gun stuff that I'm interested in, they don't expect me to also have an interest in art and music. But
Sure.
firearms enthusiasts are definitely well-rounded individuals, and not just like guns and my cold dead hands and all of that.
I mean, we've obviously got artists out here. Look at the type of targets we have. We've got spaceships and moose and
Oh, my favorite's a little velociraptor, but he was torn
Oh, I
apart
didn't
by
see that
shotgun
one.
rounds.
Was he really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
man.
adorable. He had the big
Had a
toe claw
dinosaur.
and
Yeah, I saw
everything.
that.
It was great.
That was awesome.
I miss that.
Oh yeah, he's like ripped up and sad now.
Was he near the exploding refrigerator?
I was just saying, he probably got some shrapnel from the refrigerator.
Nah, somebody went out with the shotgun and just dumped a
blew
bunch.
it
I think
away.
like birdshot or something in
crazy on
him.
him.
Yeah, so he's a little looking the worse for the wear.
Nice. And when it comes to pop culture, whether it be music, video games, movies, TV, anything that involves firearms, what is your favorite? What's your go-to?
I'm definitely a huge like action movie fan. I don't really watch. I'll watch a comedy once in a while. I don't do romantic like chick flicks.
Foo-foo movies.
Yeah, but I really love one of my all-time favorite movies of ever is Apocalypse Now, specifically The Redux. I can watch that movie over and over again.
I'm shocked.
Props to Dad. I mean, I'll pound the camera there.
Dad didn't have any influence on that, huh?
Yeah, teaching the daughter the right movies to watch.
Yeah, he had made some sort of reference to it. I'm like, don't know what you're talking about. He's like, you haven't seen Apocalypse Now. You can't be my kid and not have not
Sit
seen
down and
that.
watch this.
And I watched it.
Was it Love to Smell
immediately bought
Napalm in the Morning?
That was probably it,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah. But I went immediately and I ordered the special edition DVD
Charlie
as soon
don't
as I had
surf.
seen it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Has there been, or is there, a gun in your arsenal that you, and it could just be a little bit of, just a small portion of you that maybe is a shame that you own?
Not really. There are certain crowds. Okay, I guess I'll give you my little disclaimer.
Okay.
I'm one of those people who I think if
qualify your
a
answer.
gun works for you, that's great. Even if it doesn't work for me, or I don't like it, or I think it's ugly, or I can't shoot for crap with it, but it works for you, then it's still a good gun. Just maybe not for me. One of those guns for me is the Beretta M9. I know a lot of people just can't stand it. They hate it. They think it's the worst thing ever. A lot of military guys who see my reviews on it, they watch the video and they're like, don't you know that thing is just a piece of, trash, and don't even touch it. But it works well for me. I don't have it, it doesn't fail on me, and for my use as a hobbyist target shooter and,
So you've caught a lot of
entry-level
grief over
USPSA.
liking that gun. Huh?
Yeah, but I'm not ashamed of it. And I'll tell somebody, I carry it. Not this moment right now. I'm carrying 1911, but which I get grief over sometimes too. What? Not a Glock? No hating on Glocks, but 1911 shoots better for me, specifically my Kimber. But that's probably because I have 20,000 rounds through it. That's more than I have
familiar
to
with it.
else.
How many malfunctions?
Before I changed the recoil spring, I was having a lot of problems. But since I got a new recoil spring, nothing, no problems.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I shoot factory stuff through it. I don't put reloads through it. So that may be a bit of a factor, because Kimbers are sometimes known for being a little particular with their tolerances. But I shoot more accurately with that than anything else I own.
Do you reload too?
Not yet. I would really like to. But every time I save enough money for the equipment and the dies and everything, I spend it on a gun.
Who was it that told us they were getting... Gabby. Yeah, Gabby said she's going to start
Yep.
reloading.
Yeah. I've been saying it for ages, and I really do want to. And I have, plans for some of the presses that I've been eyeing up and everything, but I have a hard time not justifying buying guns.
Sure.
I'm sure that's a problem that you can relate to.
What is next on your bucket list? What's the next gun that you just have to have?
Have to have. Yeah.
Okay, that one's kind of a toss-up, because I just started shooting cowboy action. I shot a SAS match somebody sponsored me for, and absolutely
What's your
loved
cowboy
it.
name?
Dead-Eye Destiny.
Dead-Eye Destiny, sweet.
I thought it was kind of fun, the little play off my
That was
name.
cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I
So
want
you
to
do
get
all the dress up and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to get set up for SAS. I'm kind of eyeing up a pair of Ruger Vaqueros, maybe a Henry, and a trench gun to kind of get me set up.
Nice.
But I think the next handgun purchase, maybe, is a TZ-75. I love the CZs, but I'm really interested in the Tanfoglio copy of it. And so I think they're pretty. So. Of course, I don't mind having ugly guns as long as they perform the way I want. But if I can have a pretty gun that performs just as well, I'm getting it.
So speaking of having guns, is there a gun that you have once owned that you wished you had back?
I have, up to this point, I'm crossing my fingers as I say this, have not yet had to sell a gun. And being in the financial position that I'm in, which is not exactly what I would consider well off. I save a lot. I do a ton of research, and more often than not, I also rent or find friends who have the same the gun that I want and put rounds through it. So I'm
Check
already
it out
really
before you buy it.
invested. Yeah, before I even make the purchase, and then when I get it, just shooting it even more just kind of makes it, it's my gun, and
That's
Right.
right.
I
I have the same.
Yeah.
Once I get one, I have a very hard time getting rid of it.
I would be
Because
so
I'm like you, I'll
hard-pressed.
put a lot of research and time into studying it before I get it. And then once I've got it, then I know, that's the one I want. Very rarely will I get one. It might be, I just might run across a great deal on a gun sometime, and I'll just buy it because it's great. And then after I shoot it, I might not like it so much, and then, I'll get rid of it. But, yeah, I understand. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. I thought about selling one of my guns to upgrade to something nicer, and in the end, I just couldn't do it. I brought the gun to the range where I was going to sell it and trade in, and
it's like, I'll just wait a little bit longer, save up a little bit more, and I'll have them both.
Yeah, and then I just went out and shoot. I'm like, you know what? That was a good decision. We're going home now.
Good for you.
What started the whole YouTube thing? How did that happen?
Like with most people, it really was just a spur of the moment almost. Like I was going out shooting with my dad, and I had been hanging out with some friends in another part of the country, and they thought, it'd be cool if we keep in touch with when we do something cool, throw up a YouTube video. And one of these times I was shooting with my dad, and I said, hey, take my cell phone and let's record this. We'll throw it up on YouTube. It'll be just for kicks and giggles. It'll be fun. And as it turned out, those videos, it wasn't just my buddy watching or even my family members. There's a whole community of people who are firearms enthusiasts. Yep. And to me, that was really wonderful, and it has kept me engaged and involved in making videos for the last 2.5 years now.
So you've only been doing it 2.5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, awesome. You've grown pretty fast.
There are some channels that grow faster, but I am really grateful because I never planned for this to become something really remarkable. So when my channel recently hit 50,000 subscribers, my jaw was just on the floor. That is so awesome.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And you and our buddy Plinkster kind of flip back and forth on who's higher every now and then, right?
Yeah, now and then. I watch his videos too. Watching him shoot in person is just like, oh, dang it, that's real. He really does shoot that well.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Yeah, and then I go out there and I do the little card splitting. And he reminds me over and over again that it took me 9 shots and it took you 7. So
it's hard to do.
It is. It's tough.
And you think, you look at the card at first and you're like, oh, that's not so bad. And then you get it straight on the way you need to get it to be able to split it with that tiny little 22 round, and it just about disappears.
Oh, yeah. And then if he wouldn't have been behind me telling me where it was going, I never would have got it. Because you can't see where the bullet's going when you're the one aiming it. It's like I would have shot 500 times and never split it. But luckily he was going, okay, you're a little left.
He was doing that out here.
You go a little right, go a little right. You're there, and then it happened. Of course, I cheated on the competition we had.
I want to see.
Y'all actually did it legit. I cheated.
I want to see the double hand card.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
He mentioned it. He said that he did it with you, or did that shoot with you, but I didn't.
We did the competition. It was the first to split 2 cards, and he got the first one, and I got scared, so I grabbed my Benelli Nova and won.
Yeah, he was telling me about
the famous
that.
Zeke cheat.
And then we just had a competition. I don't know.
Close enough. The card was gone.
I never cheat in sports and stuff, but for some reason with gun competitions, I'm like, you know what? If I got a full auto or a shotgun, I'm just going to use that.
It gets the job done.
Yeah.
Tell us what's next up for Destiny.
Well, right now I have the Helping Hands project I just launched, and so I will be continuing ramping that up.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about our listeners what that is.
Well, when my channel hit 50,000 subscribers, as a way of kind of showing my appreciation for the people who have supported my channel up to this point, I have started an effort to help and get other smaller channels started. So any channel that's less than 5,000 subscribers, they're being promoted, and I'm asking the community to come together, shout out 2 channels that they like that are less than 5,000 subscribers, and people who are making video responses, they're eligible to win some prizes from me to help encourage people to help each other out.
Are we allowed to shout ourselves out? Because we fall in that category. We've got 6 subscribers, right? Something like that.
6?
Maybe 7.
I thought we got up to 8.
We may have.
I think we got one of these guys here to sign up.
That's what it was. Yeah.
We're almost double digits.
Tim took the urinal photo of us, and it shot us up to 10. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that, have you?
No, I have not.
Thank God. Please don't go to his Instagram page.
Now everybody's going to go to his Instagram page.
Yeah, probably.
That's a great project that you've got going on to give back to the community there and help grow other people that have the same dreams that you do. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's hard getting started. And I remember it wasn't that long ago that my channel was very, very slowly, making that climb. And so people who either help share these videos, the Helping Hands Project videos, I'm going to give them some prizes. people who make videos and get involved and promote other channels, they're going to get some prizes. So,
and just so our listeners know, we have donated some Talking Lead swag.
Yes.
For one of your little prize packs on that. So, yeah.
Yep. And I'm very
we're
excited.
Glad to help out.
We're already getting a bunch of people who have sent me emails saying, hey, my channel had, X subscribers before, this project. I got involved in the project. And the more videos that are out there, the more people that are watching going, oh, I never heard of, that channel and that channel. And it often ends up coming back around like it's kind of a nice karma, a way to get some more attention to these smaller channels too. And if you don't win a prize, you still get something from it.
Sure.
Now you're also musically inclined.
I really enjoy music. I did a lot of choir in high school, went to a performing arts high school for a little while. The funny thing is, though, that I have a really low singing voice, and so I sang tenor with some of the guys, or I was just an alto. Altos never get to have the melody. They're always, harmonizing, but I really enjoy singing, even though I don't think I'm some sort of, American Idol or voice star or whatever. So music is a big part of my family life. We all either play or sing. Or
do you do any instruments? Do you play any instruments?
I've taken a few years of violin. I know enough guitar chords. Wow, guitar
The guitar
chords.
is the greatest instrument ever made. I love it. Yeah, I learned how to play the guitar once. It was cool.
Well, I realized I'm not terribly good at it, so I learned a few chords to be able to accompany myself singing, and kind of gave up. And I just let my dad accompany me because he is way better at it than I am.
See, you sound like me. It's I took violin when I was little. I took piano. I took drums.
That's my favorite instrument, is the piano.
I took guitar. I took bass. And then eventually I just sang in a heavy metal band. But it was more like screaming, so...
That's awesome. I listen to a lot of metal.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I've been listening to Slipknot all the way up here.
Nice. I listen to that when I'm writing.
That's why we drove separate. So I don't have to listen to that crap.
Yeah, I need really loud, angry stuff that I may or may not be able to actually understand what they're saying in order to be able to write.
Yes, exactly.
That seems to help. So
I
a lot of
listen
times,
to Barbra Streisand and Air Supply.
Air Supply.
I've taken to even listening to stuff in foreign languages, because if I listen to it in English, I start singing with it or typing it. And
Rammstein. Good one.
Love them. Eisenbrecher. If you like Rammstein, you'll like Eisenbrecher.
Right.
They're wonderful.
Our intro song is from a
speaking
Swedish
German now. I don't know what they're saying.
There's a Swedish band that gave us our intro song called Despite.
I haven't heard of them.
They're very, very
They are good, yeah. I do like them.
They gave us our intro song for the podcast. So.
I feel like my music horizon has just been expanded.
It has.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I love Pandora Radio. I find so many new bands with that.
Yeah.
It's
That's the one
my
where
guilty
you
pleasure.
put something in and it'll give you similar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
cool.
made a
like that
Rammstein radio station, and I found all these bands like Samael and that's actually how I originally discovered Eisenbrecher and fell in love.
Nice.
KMFDM is another cool one.
It's another one that's along those lines. Warhammer. Is it Warhammer? I think they're like a...
That sounds so
ice
epic.
Blended. It is. It's... We have just totally
Sorry.
taken this in another direction. Welcome to Talking Metal with Destiny and Zeke.
That's what happens when I don't have a script. Oh, wait, I never have a script. Is that why I ramble so much? Dang it.
You never have a script?
Oh, never.
I'm impressed.
If I had a script, anytime that I prepared a script for my very early videos, the first ones 2.5 years ago, the ones that never even made it to YouTube because they were so awful. They were so awful.
Practice makes perfect.
We learned that the hard way. Our first video, which was actually one of our biggest videos, was the gun ban letter campaign. And we scripted the entire thing. Oh my gosh, it took us how long? An hour and a half? To knock out a 10-minute...
Because I wouldn't read the script.
Yeah, and then we were we started winging it. We started winging it, and it flowed a lot better. We're like, okay, yeah, we don't need... I mean, we kind of script it before the video. Mm-hmm. But other than that, we just wing the whole thing.
Yeah, I take notes. I mean, I do my research so I know what I want to talk about beforehand. Sure. And having familiarity with whatever the gears that I'm covering, in a review, or... introducing some new technique that I've just learned for firearms training from some instructor or what have you. I have the preparation done ahead of time, but I'll just generally have a set of notes in my head and run with it. And the first couple of takes, not so good, but I kind of work into it. And
Question, and this is going to be really impressive if it wasn't scripted. You have experience recording things in vehicles, like we're in our mobile studio now. The one where you do the split personality girl.
Oh, that was really difficult.
That was winging it?
I had an idea of things that I wanted to say.
Uh-huh.
every time I recorded it, every take was different.
That's awesome. I'm impressed.
I had like pauses worked in, and the first couple of tries it was kind of awkward, so that was a lot of really funny video for any of the people in the parking lot, because I was sitting in the passenger seat, and then I'd record, and then I'd sit in the driver's seat and record.
You get a lot of funny looks from people going by.
I just remember what I was going to ask.
Okay.
Ask it. Were you in Walking Dead?
I have had somebody say that there was apparently an episode with this girl with a crossbow.
Looks
or a
and sounds just like you. There's a wall that's kind of guarding this one little town, and she has one quick scene, and I thought, oh, well, that must have been a cameo that Destiny got.
If only.
She looks like you, she talks like you, and I was kind of like, I even went back to your videos and would go and watch it. I was like, that's got to be
Is this in the governor's town?
Yeah, she's on the wall, and she's talking to the blonde girl that's dating the governor. I can't remember her name. Andrea.
She's dead now.
Yeah, she's dead
Andrea's
now.
gone.
But yeah, I was like, that's got to be her. And then, so it wasn't you.
My horrible secret is I've never even seen a single episode of The Walking Dead.
Really?
Don't defriend me. I'm sorry.
No, we will keep you as friends.
I really love zombies.
There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah. Well, that.
If you're very busy, don't start.
That's why I haven't.
It's very addictive.
That is exactly why I haven't.
It's like
that's why they make Netflix.
It's in my instant queue, or what did they change it to the my list?
Yeah. What's up with that?
I read a little a note about it, and maybe it was a blog post somewhere. I read a ton on the internet, but somebody said it was because so many people didn't know the word queue, because it's kind of a funny spelled word, and how often do you write it down? And there was some customer service rep who was complaining about it. Like, people would say, like, my quiche, my kuwei.
My kuwei's wrong.
Yeah. Or something crazy like that. So I guess they figured list was easier.
That's awesome.
I don't know that for sure, but that's something I found on the internet, which, of course, if it's on the internet, it must be true.
It makes sense.
Everything we say is always true.
I'll believe it.
No. Do you have anything big planned video-wise here?
So far, I'm getting a lot of great footage. I want to touch base with a few of the other YouTubers. Sure. What's wonderful is a lot of these faces are familiar to me because I'm watching their videos, and now I actually get to meet them in person. I'm hoping to get some interactions with them, and I've already gotten some great range footage and definitely planning to get some more. I mean, there's some fun toys out there.
It's kind of weird. You get out here and you've got all these ideas for videos as you're coming to one of these things, and you get here and it's so intense that you're just recording everything, and you're like, how am I going to piece this into
Done some of that.
Now, a lot of people don't know, of course, through the podcast, because you can't see us, but Destiny's dad, also known as Dad of Destiny, is filming this.
DOD.
And do you want to interview us on your channel while we're interviewing you? Do you have questions for us?
Interviewception. Well, I'm sure that a lot of people who are watching my YouTube channel may not know of your YouTube channel or of your podcast. So what's Talking Lead about? I mean, you mentioned it's a playoff of the name is a playoff of The Walking Dead, but obviously you want to talk about guns.
You want me to start the Inception story?
Sure. We'll let
Wonderful.
So basically, what's happened is Left Hand and I have been friends for many years. We both enjoy guns, and recently I've gotten more into the gun culture and learned more, in the last 2-3 years, probably, something like that?
Yeah, I kind of introduced him to the modern firearm world.
Right.
And
I've always
got him into it.
I've always been a hunter. I had self-defense weapons, but I never really got into buying a bunch of them and learning all the things that we've learned here. And one day we were on the phone for an hour and a half talking about guns. He said, oh, well, let's start a gun shop. And I was like, yeah, there's too much government red tape. What we can do? Well, I was listening to a lot of gun podcasts at the time. I said, let's start a gun podcast. And of course, his reaction was, what the bleep is a gun podcast? So
I was like, what's a podcast?
Yeah, what's a podcast? So the company I work for, we own 2 radio stations. 2 Mexican radio stations. But we went to the Mexican radio station and we recorded our first 3-4 episodes, actually.
Not in Mexican.
Yeah, no, not in Spanish.
Not in Mexican.
Not in Mexican? Is that a language?
Hablo español si prefieren.
Wow, impressive. So
Good Mexican.
We started the podcast, had 20, 30 listeners, and we thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Well, then we had this little guy, really tiny guy, come on the show on our 4th episode, named Hickok45.
Oh yeah, he is a
little short
guy.
Short, tiny guy. And he came on the show, and all of a sudden we had 4,000 downloads of that show, and we're like, whoa! And we looked at the countries, and we were in over 100 countries. So we're like, well, let's kind of take this from a hobby and see what we can do. So we kind of progressed it, and then it's evolved into this thing where
we took it on the road because we want to see how feasible it was.
Oh, that's right.
So we booked some time at the Houston NRA meeting in Houston. Yep. We were part of the Firearms Radio Network. They actually asked us to be part of their network after our first episode. Mm-hmm. And being a part of them, we got to go to the Houston NRA meeting. And from there, we're like, all right, this is where we're going to find out whether we've got legs, if what we're doing here is legit, or is it, do people want to hear us? Are we interesting? So that's where we actually found out, by going and doing the interviews with the Glocks and, all the companies that were there.
Because those guns give great interviews. They really talk.
The Glock companies. Arlie Army was one of the representatives there. Got to meet him. Who else did? The Top Shot people. Mm-hmm. That's where we became good friends with Gabby Franco, who is a regular on our show. She's on once a month, has a segment. From there, we met our publicist also. She really kind of gave us, the boost we needed to say, all right, this has got something here, and let's take it to the next level. So that show really is where we made the decisive factors. Like, all right, we're pushing it to the next level.
So you guys have had a lot of growth in just very recent times.
Yes.
Yeah, we've only been going since December. Yeah. We started in December.
Our first episode,
right when,
was the same day that Newtown happened.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're recording our episode, going,
we're like, great, this is a sign. Right. We shouldn't even be doing this.
Yeah.
But we took it the opposite way. It's like, no, actually, this is what we should be doing.
Yep.
Our whole thing was to keep politics out of our show, because we even though you can't. We'll skim on politics. We'll talk about it. Whoever we have on, if they want to talk about it, that's great. But we don't try to emphasize it, or we don't try to push our views on our
We try
listeners.
To be politically neutral, except for the Second Amendment. We're completely pro-gun. Any other politics, we try to stay neutral.
We'll give our opinion. We'll state our opinions, but we're not going to push it down your throat.
Right.
Yeah.
And most people
we'll state it. We'll leave it at that, and we'll move on.
We don't want to alienate any gun owners out there that are gun enthusiasts, because I think on every end of the political spectrum, there's people out there that love guns, and we don't want to alienate anybody, because we all have to be in this fight together.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
The conceal carry, the open carry, I mean, we're all in the same boat, and we need to work together.
Yeah, I've had plenty of people mention to me that, I'm a liberal, or, I consider myself to be, liberally minded, but I absolutely love guns, or I can vote Democrat my whole life, my whole family does, but I love guns. I'm sure those folks find a home on your podcast.
Yeah.
We welcome everyone.
All right, so you guys posed this question to me, and I struggled, because there's a lot out there. But what's your favorite firearms that you've seen so far today?
You take it first one.
Me?
I've got to mill through this.
Mine was the MP5.
Oh, that's
then when I shot that H&K G36, I kind of took over. So I think I'm going to go with the G36.
I haven't gotten to shoot that one yet.
Ooh, you got to go shoot it. And put the 100-round drum on it. That thing was amazing.
Yes, please. All right, Left Hand, you're up.
Wow. There's so many.
I like them put you in the hot spot now.
I like them all. I want one of each.
You can't take the easy
I really
out.
like shooting that short-barreled Sega shotgun.
Yeah. That thing's got some bark to it. You can hear it like wherever you are.
But unless you're shooting it, if you're right up there shooting it, it wasn't that bad. It's like behind you is when it was really bad. But that thing was awesome. I liked it.
It looks fun. I haven't shot that one yet, but I've seen a bunch of people.
We were shooting the slugs through it, and man, I mean,
draw some attention.
And the acoustics in this little gully we're in is unbelievable.
Little valley, yeah. Of course, that big fire was kind of...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Bonfire. We were cooking marshmallows.
Plausible deniability.
Awesome.
And then when the camera exit our indoor studio here, make sure you get our vehicles, and then everybody can see where to go to.
They do look nice. I noticed both of the Talking Loud vehicles are pretty fancy schmancy.
We wanted to make an impression when we rolled in.
Mission accomplished.
Thank you.
I'm going to pose a question, and I think I have a mic here. Y'all are Wisconsinite.
Yes, sir.
And we are doing a fundraiser right now for one of the Green Bay Packers. AJ Hawk, linebacker, has a foundation called Hawks Locks for Kids, and that's why our hair is getting a little shaggy. I usually have a faux hawk, and he's usually pretty tight.
I usually keep it pretty tight and buzzed.
And we're growing our hair out for a year, and then after that, we're going to go to an event up there. So we'll actually have to look y'all up when we get up to Wisconsin.
Most definitely.
When we go up there, we're going to cut our hair, and we've actually got a handful of fans that are doing it too.
That is cool.
And he sends it to kids that, not just cancer, but if they have alopecia and they lose their hair because...
For whatever reason that they've lost their hair.
Right, and they make wigs with it. So I was going to see if Dad of Destiny would join in that little competition.
I don't know if his... he has a day job, which is actually why he can help me out with the channel, because sometimes going to the range...
But it's for a good cause. If you explain the cause.
Yeah, hey, look, it's a fundraiser.
Yeah, the corporate...
Yeah, we got the It's a good organization. And remember, all the listeners out there, that if you want to join us, send us a Facebook pic, send us a picture on email.
Before and after.
Telling us that you're involved, and we're going to make sure it goes to the right people, right places. I didn't realize, I've had friends my age that have had cancer, and when they go through chemo, they just shave their head. But when you're a kid, it's such a blow to your self-esteem when you lose your hair. So, I mean...
Yeah, that's a really noticeable change.
It is. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Not a lot of kids shave their head just for the heck of it.
Well, thanks for coming on. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's
my pleasure. Do you have any more questions for us? I don't want to cut you off.
No,
That's it.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my mind was a complete blank.
That was the ultimate question.
Oh, well.
Do you have questions for us?
Do you have anything?
What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything?
That's the one that always gets me in like, interviews. Do you have any more questions for us?
Yeah.
Can I have the job?
I always hate that one, too. Or, can you describe your weaknesses? Oh, I told you I wanted the job.
I suck. But I make good with it.
Just can't get up in the mornings.
Yeah. All right. Well, Destiny, appreciate it. We'll look forward to hanging out, do some more stuff.
And give your channel a plug.
Oh, yeah.
So how can people get in touch with you?
Well, if you haven't discovered me, Fate of Destiny. That's with 2 E's at the end, because apparently I don't know how to spell.
Now, you started a second channel too, right?
Yes, okay. All Things Destiny. It's just a play off my name. That is my name, Destiny. I do get that question a lot. Like, Did you just come up with that? I wish I could give myself credit for that, but that was my parents come up with that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They knew you were going to do a YouTube.
We've had people ask if I was talking and he's led, or vice versa, but...
That's funny.
Not really. It's just a cheesy joke that really flopped.
I can appreciate corny humor. I mean, I never would have survived the name Destiny. Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Destiny.
It's my pleasure.
So now we got Matt from ATI.
One of the sponsors of this huge event.
Yes. So the YouTube Range Day 2013.
First annual.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about ATI. What y'all do?
We make gun stocks, fore ends, heat shields, mag extensions, all kinds of aftermarket accessories, and we aim for it to be stuff that the average gun owner can install and do themselves. No need for the gunsmith.
Awesome.
I actually own a couple of your products. I was telling you earlier, I bought one of your Mini 14 stocks.
Oh,
one of
very
the collapsible.
Popular.
But I don't have the Mini 14 yet, so I've got to get the 14.
As I told you bought the important item first.
I did because I said it's going to look badass when I get one.
So I'm just going to go without the other.
I said it's going to be inevitable. If I get a Mini 14, I'm going to get one of these anyway. So I went ahead and got it.
So how long you been doing this?
I've actually only been with ATI a little over a year.
Okay.
And I do their website and social media over there.
Nice.
And you were telling me that ATI is based out of
Milwaukee.
Yeah,
we got 2 facilities, one a little north of Milwaukee. Do all of our own molding, CNCing. It's all made right in the USA.
So y'all up there in Destiny's neck of the woods?
Yes, she's actually within probably 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep, she's going to have to come visit us, I think.
We're ending up with all these Wisconsin connections, man.
These cheeseheads.
But yeah, so we're actually going to be coming up there probably next year sometime.
Well, feel free to stop by.
Get in touch with you.
We'll do there. So hopefully we'll see you before then. Definitely.
Yeah.
At some of the other gun show events.
Yep, and SHOT Show, I'm sure.
Y'all going to be at SHOT?
Yep. You got to come by. We'll have a lot of cool new stuff.
So you're telling me you got some stuff coming out that you just can't talk about right now.
Yep, can't talk about it quite yet, but it's going to be eye-opening. There's going to be some really cool stuff. Some new names.
Gotcha.
Always.
Cool. What's your best seller of all your products right now?
Best seller? It really varies a lot by season in that, but our Ruger and our Mossberg and our Remington.
Gotcha.
Those are, the 3 names that go up. But I mean, as far as what's, getting out there right now is our Benelli, our Raven package is getting out there, especially with law enforcement, as well as being the first adjustable stock available to the civilian market. And we've got enough compliance parts there for that package that you can go fully adjustable.
What does the package include?
Well, we've got the 6-position adjustable stock. And then that breaks down, and It's all aluminum, and you can adjust the tension for the drag on your buffer tube. Got an infinitely adjustable cheek rest on there. Kind of works like a scissors car jack. It's amazing.
Wow.
Got the pistol grip. Then you got a fore-end, a heat shield. We got a new mag tube. It's U.S. made for compliance. Cap, follower. There's a tri-rail up there, and between those pieces you can get 922R compliant no matter what. So
cool. And that's for the Benelli?
Yep, the Benelli M4.
M4. Very nice. That'll really deck it out, won't it?
Yeah. Yep.
And you got one here, don't you?
Yeah, we brought a couple.
Yeah.
We had one apart so the guys could kind of see how the inner workings worked. There's nothing out there like it. So
there's one to check out your latest and greatest products. Where can they go, Matt?
I would have to say our website, atigunstocks.com. We also have a pretty big following on Facebook. Get a lot of up-to-date news there and firsts, as well as other places like your podcast, of course.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and feel free whenever you have big news to release.
Yeah, let us know.
We might have to
we can provide the platform for that.
Might have to do a reveal with you guys later in the year, maybe.
That would be awesome. That would be good.
It's kind of been up, but there's some of the contact info.
There we go.
Yeah.
One nice thing of being in the mobile lead sled.
Got our stuff handy somewhat.
Oh yeah, I got it everywhere.
Awesome.
Somewhat.
It's fun. Yeah, this has been our first time doing it in a vehicle.
Wow,
and
really?
It's fun. Wait, that sounded really bad.
Doing it. Broadcast.
It was well done.
Yeah, it's fun. Very, very fun.
Well, we appreciate you guys taking part and being a sponsor in this amazing event by Iraqi Vet. Why do I always say Iraqi?
Iraq Veteran 888.
He's American.
Iraqi Vet 888.
Yeah, we're a big believer in all the stuff the YouTubers are doing as well as all the new media, especially you guys too. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome.
It's fun. This is the direction it's all going.
Yeah.
Web-based.
And I mean, it's great people out here. Everyone you meet, great representatives for the firearms industry.
Yeah, everybody's been just super nice. They've got their... I don't know how many like millions of dollars worth of guns out here, and everybody's just like willing to let you just come up and shoot their gun. And, you know, not think twice about it.
I had a guy tap me on the shoulder and, here's a UMP-40, fire it. Okay, I have to.
He's like, here, shoot it. It needs to be shot.
What's been the favorite thing you've shot out here?
That would have to be it.
Really?
Was it?
Yeah, nice. But it's fun. I mean, I'd walk up to people with the M4 all decked out, and what's this? Yeah, let me fire it.
That's the cool thing about your stocks is it really changes, a gun, maybe a gun you've had for years, and then you can go and put one of those stocks in. It's like you got a brand new gun.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah.
Everyone likes to deck out whatever they're doing, your car, whatever, and just another thing you can do.
So guys, check out ATI at the website, ATI
Gunstocks.com.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Record all this.
Baby back ribs.
And we're back on Talking Lead, and we have two very odd guys that came down here with us to this YouTube Range Day 2013. And we've been trying to get them on the show together for a while because I heard how much chaos it would actually be if y'all were on the show together.
Well, we thought, what the heck, let's do it.
So T and Outdoors 9 and the man, the myth,
the legend,
the scrawny.
You know him, you love him.
22 Blankster.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. I can't feel my right arm right now. So
yeah, Blinkster's been out there shooting a 10-gauge shotgun.
3.5-inch Magnum.
With a shorty barrel.
Shorty barrel.
Splitting a card.
3 ounces of lead, splitting playing cards. And it's all I can do right now to hold this mic in my hand.
Oh, me. Well, since it is episode 40, we were going to give T and Outdoors 9 a moment of Rain Man caliber talk. So, Rain Man of calibers?
Rain Man.
What's 40 all about?
Wow, man. I'm about worn out and you're asking me that. I don't even sound like myself. 40. Well.
How did they come about?
The 40 came along from the 10 millimeter. So, the 10 millimeter was an FBI cartridge back in the 80s, but you'll hear all kinds of stories about how the caliber was too powerful for a lot of folks with small hands, and they said something about female officers and things like that. So I don't know, but it is a very powerful cartridge. So someone came along, and I believe Smith & Wesson, and said, let's chop that down. We like the 10 millimeter, which is 40 diameter, in decimals. Let's chop it down and make something that's not quite as powerful. The other thing was to get the 40 into the same size frame as a 9mm handgun. And I'm doing this all from memory. I don't know what I'm talking about. But
I think it's a bunch of baloney. I think it more from the 22 long rifle.
No. This isn't about the 22 right now, Plinkster. It's about the 40.
You mean there's other calibers?
Yes, there are other calibers.
Okay.
And you need to accept.
Okay.
And quit carrying 22s for your self-defense. That guy.
Yeah. No, actually, I will say in Plinkster's defense, he does own 40 caliber handguns. Yes. And he shoots them very well.
Well, thank you.
So you're shooting that 45 pretty good too.
Well, it's every squirrel finds a nut, I guess. So I don't know what I'm I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, there you go. So yeah, the 40 came about in the 80s, mid-80s, late 80s, thereabouts. And then I think what really pushed the 40 along as a cartridge and getting to the platform was Glock. Of course, other makers did too. People get tired of me talking about Glock, but Glock came out with it.
I'm getting tired of you talking about Glock.
Okay. Glock brand Glock.
H&K, I think, finally got around to doing something in the 40. Yeah, so Glock came out with the Glock 22, and it's pretty much now it's
my favorite.
65, 70% of the police market out there. But the 40 has really taken off as far as law enforcement. It's used quite a bit for concealed carry. People talk about the power factor. I mean, it is more powerful than a 9mm. Is it more effective when you're running gel tests and things like that? I mean, it can be. You got different bullet weights. 135 grain is, I think, too light. 155 grain, I feel, is a little light. I like, personally, what am I thinking here? The 165 and 180s. Yeah, 165 and 180s. And other people say, well, it's a high-pressure cartridge. You don't want a 180 grain. You don't have a lot of room there for your pressure to go away and your powders and so forth. And I'm just really tired. But anyway,
it's awesome.
Anyway, so a lot of people won't carry the 180s, and when I have carried 40, and occasionally I will, I like the 180s because they don't recoil as much as the 165s. And that's another thing. The 40 has a very snappy recoil.
Yes, it does.
I think everyone in here will agree that the 45 is much more pleasant to shoot, and you might even be more accurate with it for quicker follow-up shots because it doesn't recoil, at least to me, as much as the 40. What do you think about that?
The 40 does bite more.
It does. It has a little snap to it.
But does it have crackle and pop?
Just on weekends.
Okay.
And I carry the 180 grain in my H&K P2000, not a Glock.
You keep talking about the H&K P2000.
Yeah,
We've never seen it.
I'll show it.
Does it really exist?
It does exist. And,
isn't it over there?
I have actually taken a deer with my 40 H&K.
Really?
A couple years ago, I took a deer with the 180 grain, and the deer actually literally
Disclaimer, that is legal in Tennessee.
It is legal. The deer ran probably about 15 yards and piled up, and it didn't go all the way through. It went right behind the shoulder, and it lodged in the hide on the other side. So there's a bulge on the other side, and the deer was walking. It was walking dead or talking lead or something like that. But
there was a bulge on the other side.
On the other side where the bullet lodged. When I skinned the deer,
usually there's just a bulge in the front.
Yeah. Well, when
was
I
it
shot
a daddy bulge?
Anyways, so I stripped the hide back, and the bullet fell out. The bullet held together perfectly, and it worked. So I know, I'm like, well, if it can take down a 200-pound deer, it should be not a problem. I don't have second thoughts of carrying it for self-defense. So
no.
By the way, I have to ask, before that bullet took out the deer, had it gone through a playing card before?
Well, I tried to set an aspirin right up there on the trail that I thought he was going to come through.
It's the only way he can hide.
Here we go.
Or was it a redirectional tube?
Well, actually, I was doing Annie Oakley. So he was behind the tree stand when I took him, and I had to use a mirror. And
See,
when I took him,
that may not be legal in Tennessee.
Little known fact, Plinkster cannot hit the broadside of the barn unless it is a trick shot. So he sets up a card whenever he goes deer hunting, and he waits for the deer to get right in front of the card, and that's the only time he can actually shoot.
That's a myth. That's a myth.
That's our fact to fight the myth.
We talk about the power factor of it. A lot of people who really like the 45, and I like that caliber as well, and of course the 9mm. There are a lot of folks, you look at the gun forums and so forth and blogs, you'll see comments where people will say, I just don't have room for 40 in my handgun inventory. I've tried it. It's too snappy. And, for this type of frame handgun, I would much rather carry a smaller capacity 45, which has a very good power factor, or a 9mm, than the 40. So there are a lot of people that just don't like it, and some people may have never tried it. But It is a very effective caliber. It is very popular. And during these ammo shortages, yes, it was one of the ones that you didn't see. But once all the ammo started coming back, guess what? You're still not seeing 9mm. I'm seeing 45. I'm seeing 40. I just think that as people were running out this last year or so and buying handguns, they weren't necessarily going for the 40 caliber for a lot of reasons, for things that we've talked about. It does cost a tad bit more than 9mm. It's in the ballpark of what you're going to pay for 40. So a lot of people say they just don't have room for it. Some people say the same things about 357 SIG. It's just not a caliber that's of interest to them, because either the 9 or the 40 they feel like is going to be adequate. And of course that is correct, I would think. But law enforcement, that is the predominant caliber in law enforcement, regardless of the platform. SIG, Glock, HK, Colt, whatever.
I dozed off. I'm sorry. Were you saying something?
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
No, and I agree with you. I agree with you. And I like the 40.
That's good, by the way.
Thank you. I've never shot a gun I really didn't like, to tell you the truth. And don't mean to change the subject. I shot my first Mosin Nagant this weekend, and I know your people are probably thinking he's never shot a Mosin Nagant. I don't own one, and it's a surplus rifle. And I've been wanting to get one for a while, and probably the first week I'm going to be home, I will be getting a Mosin Nagant. I love those things. Those things are awesome. What model do you have, 10 Outdoors?
I have the 9130, but the one we were shooting today was the 9159, which is about 3 or 4 inches chopped off the barrel of the 9130 and refitted.
Man, it shoots great. It's got some pop to it.
Yeah,
it's got some pop to it, but it's fun to shoot.
Very similar to shooting a 308.
I think it's a little bit stouter than a 308 personally. I think I would put it up there with 30-06. So,
probably closer, yeah. And the ballistics are likely closer to 30-06.
So, but what do I know? I'm just a 22 guy.
That's right. You don't know anything.
All he shoots is 22.
Because you're narrow-minded, don't shoot any other calibers than the 22.
No, he's just narrow and can't handle any other calibers.
He likes to standardize. Come on, guys.
No, we're done with 40. We can talk about other stuff. Like, we already know Mosin was your favorite, right? That we shot here?
I like the Mosin. I shot the...
Did you shoot any of the HKs?
No, I didn't shoot any H&Ks.
What?
I know. Listen,
I mean, we should be happy because this is like a step of progress, right?
Do they have? Is that MP5 suppressed?
I don't know if they have one for it or not.
I think it was threaded.
I'm gonna, as soon as we leave this podcast, I'm gonna walk up to somebody who has an H&K and ask them if I can shoot an MP5, because I've always wanted to shoot one, and this is probably my only chance to ever shoot one. But you know what? People like me, and I'm okay with it. So,
doggone it, people like me.
I am so tired right now. We've been out in the sun and shooting guns, and it's a good tired. But we have like 4 hour drive home. Depends how many times you have to stop and use the restroom.
Just wake me up when we get there.
Okay.
3.5.
Yeah. Are you staying tonight?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're all heading back then.
So
we should have just recorded.
You know
this
why?
on the road back.
Because tomorrow's cleanup day.
Yes.
I have a lot of guns to clean.
Yes.
So, dude, it's been great. It has been. I'm talking the guys. Iraq veteran. They have put on a great show, and I'm not just saying that. It has been unbelievable.
Very well organized. Even the crazy stuff that we did, it was still well organized and
still safe. Yeah, it was still safe, with the tannerite and stuff like that, because you have to watch, what you're doing with that stuff. And, they're extremely safe about it, and we have fun.
Right.
Yeah, YouTube is going to be flooded with fully automatic videos, shooting videos, cross-promotion. And, for the most part, none of our subscribers knew this was going on.
No.
And, we've all kept it a secret. We've been anticipated this date for a long time, some of us. And, it was not disappointing by no means.
No, not at all.
And it was great, man. I had so much. And, shooting the guns, that was a bonus. But I know we can do that fellowshipping down there at the bowling alley. But, I like talking to fellow YouTubers. This is even better
fellowship right here.
Yeah. Meeting other people that are doing similar things that we're doing, and we're all got the same goals.
I spent more time today and last night talking to people about YouTube, about the gun community, about the Second Amendment, filming and videography, things like that. I spent more time talking to people and sharing ideas and listening and learning than I actually did shooting guns and filming.
Yeah, you didn't shoot a lot of guns today.
I did not shoot a whole lot. I shot a Desert Eagle 44.
That was fun.
Nice.
Did you end up shooting the 50?
I split a playing card with the 50, the Desert Eagle, and the
Beowulf.
Yeah, and the Beowulf.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, you did a lot of things. You were pretty active.
Yeah, well,
shooting a lot of different guns. I really was more wanting to talk to some people and get some footage. I didn't really want to be.
See, y'all are missing the eye rolling right now. It's awesome because Plinkster He's up there, man.
I'm just a redneck with a gun who loves to shoot.
And has a camera.
And has a camera. You know, and anybody can do this YouTube stuff.
Anybody can.
Anybody can.
He's got
We can do it.
God, if y'all can do it.
If we could come up with a stick, you know, splitting a playing card or something, maybe we could shoot turkeys or something.
I think that's
roasted
already taken.
turkeys.
I like turkey. Turkeys are fun.
We
Or
are
marbles.
doing
Maybe we could
roasted.
shoot marbles.
Yeah.
Marbles? Those are too
Marbles?
big.
Those are too big. I don't know. We'll have to come up with our shtick. People want
I
us
think
to
we
shoot their
got a
guns.
stick, don't we?
Hey, you know,
we
I'm talking
shove
about
people in
so
safes.
people will want us to shoot their guns.
hey, you know what? You know, I've got. That was pretty
That wasn't
loud.
me.
That was big.
I thought we were done with tannerite.
Big bada boom.
Well, obviously, the guy did not get the memo that we were done with tannerite, so that kind of scared me a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Blinkster's bleeding from his eyes and
Yes,
ears.
but you know, I've lost all train of thought with the tannerite explosions.
What were we talking about?
Isn't dinner
Guns?
coming sometime soon?
Yeah.
Are
we're
they
getting
providing dinner?
I don't know.
What are we doing for dinner?
We're
probably
leaving.
getting it on the road.
Okay, they're shooting the MP5 now, so
Yeah.
this
This is your opportunity.
how much longer do I need to talk?
5 minutes?
5 minutes?
Can
Okay.
you do 5 minutes?
Yeah, I can do 5 minutes. So one time as a child, I
I'm just trying
shot
to
a
make Blinkster
22,
sweat.
and
We
and I really
ATI guy on here too.
really like the 22. It's a fun round. It's good to start kids off with, and low recoil, and it's fairly
What are
accurate
we
up to
talking
100
about?
yards.
I think he's just
inexpensive.
repeating the entire episode the first time he came
Yeah,
on.
I am. I had it memorized. So
I thought you had
Episode
more
22.
depth than that.
no, I'm a very shallow person. So, but
Hey, let's talk about a caliber. Let's
Seen
talk
by
about the
his
22
width.
long rifle.
hey, let's talk about something else. Let's talk
What about the
about
44?
no. Let's talk about something totally different. Let's
Like not even guns?
Non-firearms
Let's
related?
talk about the interest rates on
Sword
houses
pools?
going up right now.
Yeah, I thought they
Very
were going
minimal.
down.
No, I think they're going back up, my friend.
I thought the Fed just made a big announcement.
I didn't
that
get the
they were
memo. Just like the guy with the tannerite blowing it up over
The-
there. He didn't get the
you know,
memo.
you
Interest
said we
rates
were
are still
talking
at
guns.
historical lows, so
Historical
it's still
lows.
a great time to buy a house.
Is it a great time for refinancing?
Absolutely. If you
All
haven't
right,
that's
refied in
what
the
it
past 2 years,
Yeah.
yes.
There's a house
What's your
I'm
rate?
looking at that this guy told me about that I really, really want.
What's your
Who's
rate?
that guy?
It's this tall guy from this little place in Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a.
Good looking fella?
He thinks he is.
Oh, well, that's not me.
No one in this.
He
vehicle.
told his realtor about it, and his realtor looked it up
My
too.
realtor is working on it too. So
Is it still for sale?
yes,
Dude, that'd be cool if we could
and
live
it's
close
a
like that.
Steel.
Oh, it's a still.
Yeah,
Man, it's a nice house, 9 acres.
9 acres in the woods.
You
log
can
cabin.
get probably a 300-yard shot.
It's already got a shoot house on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
reloading
There,
room.
nothing
shoot
beats nothing beats walking out onto your back porch, buck naked, and ripping off some 300-yard shooting.
I thought we weren't
That's
going
where
to
I'll
talk
insert
about
the
that.
crickets.
Ripping off some dragon's breath.
Whatever it
Ooh,
takes.
dragons.
When are you
breath.
going to post that video?
What's that?
Buck naked on your back porch shooting.
I think there's disclaimers on YouTube about that.
Oh,
So
Who's buck naked? See another.
he's got another channel.
No, he just. I sent Plinkster a photo one day. I wasn't even supposed to talk about this.
No,
Yeah.
I've still got the photo, by the way.
No.
is it the same photo you sent me?
No,
No.
no.
Oh Lord.
No.
He called me and asked me what I was doing. And let's just say that when I get up in the morning and the weather's nice, literally, I will go out the back door onto the deck. No one's typically home. And I'll walk around in the yard and just let your imagination run wild. So, for whatever reason, I had my phone with me.
I do the same
Which is
thing.
another disturbing thought.
Because you had no
I
pockets.
chose not to put on any clothes, but I decided it's important for me to go outside with my phone. So
You got to check email, YouTube comments
That's
from the
right.
night before.
So I positioned the phone camera appropriately and took a photo and texted it to him.
And
Said good morning.
Said, "How
sunshine."
about this,
he just
big guy?"
he just said good morning and how about this, and
morning
I
wood.
clicked on it because it came from an iPhone because it doesn't come up on my phone because it's a subpar phone.
Apparently
So it came up on my
Oh,
Android and I had to
iPhone
click on it to
bastard.
open it up.
And I knew he was driving. In his business, I knew he was driving more than likely.
I wasn't texting. Okay, I just
Right, wasn't-
looked at it. I just looked at
wanted
it.
to see if he might have swerved off the road a little bit. Tell us where in Tennessee there's skid marks on the highway where you swerved off the road when you opened that text.
Halfway between Dixon and Waverly on I-40. Yeah, it was. That I'm serious. I have got a mental picture in my mind that I will never. I cannot shoot enough tannerite or enough guns to get this image out of my head. So, I'm just going to hang on to the picture. I haven't opened it up since he sent it to me because that's a scene I don't want to see again. But I'm probably going to save it for a, if I need 1,000 rounds of 9mm or something one day, I know where to get
blackmail.
Well,
Yeah.
just okay.
That's not bad.
That works both ways.
Never mind. Let's back this up.
Isn't there
Don't forget that on our trip down here last night, we shared a room, and somebody stayed up late last night, which wasn't me. So I went to bed. And so that means the person who went to bed early, which was me, got up before the other person and had a camera.
What'd you do with my toothbrush? What'd you do with my toothbrush? Oh, man. Really? You didn't flatulate on me, did you?
Shroom whelp your forehead.
Did you just say shroom whelp?
Yeah.
Did that really happen? Tell me, did that really happen?
Oh, my gosh. That's awesome.
Shroom whelp.
I've really got to use the restroom. Don't make me laugh.
Man, that could open up a whole nother dialogue.
If people only knew what happens between...
I've been saying it
If
since I was
somebody
9.
just hacked the Tennessee gun YouTubers' phones... and
Now,
saw
listen.
some of the
Now,
stuff-
this is a great...
Go ahead and talk about that.
Okay, it's funny
We're gonna
that you
talk
said
about
that because 10 Outdoors 9 and myself, we talk every day. For the most part,
yeah.
just besides on the weekends, we usually don't talk on the weekends. But Monday through Friday, we both have jobs that we do a tremendous amount of traveling. And,
You're an ice cream truck driver,
yes,
right?
ice cream truck driver.
That's what
I hand out ammunition to whoever wants it.
TN
And,
shaved ice.
And so we talk, and we always get about halfway through a conversation, and we always say, man, we've got to start recording our phone conversations.
We really do.
And nobody would probably listen to it because nobody watches us. So, but seriously, we need to start recording our phone conversations because some of them have been some humdingers, boy. Let me tell
We're
you.
talking viral phone calls.
Yeah, viral phone calls.
I guess we would have to have a blog.
Isn't that how this show started, Zeke?
Yeah, that's exactly how the show
Yeah.
started.
Wow.
We
Except
should record our
theirs
phone.
might have a little different content.
And we talk about everything.
we talk
about
Tannerite.
We talk about Tannerite. We talk about Miley Cyrus. We talk about a lot of different
Miley Cyrus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Miley Cyrus.
Let's not say we did. So the only good thing about Miley Cyrus is she came from the man who has the best mullet, or had the best mullet ever.
Right. Past
Ever.
tense.
That is the only good thing going.
I
for
agree
her.
with the mullet.
It was a classic mullet.
It
And,
was.
if I could grow my hair out, I would have. Well, me and my wife
you
talked
can.
about this. She wouldn't let me do it, but dude, I'm serious. I would rock the mullet. I would bring it back myself.
I'm getting there.
So,
I'm getting there.
yes, you have a little mulletization back there.
you.
But we've actually talked about
I just
having
got to cut the front.
We've talked about having a sub-channel. We're coming up with, we talk about the phone calls. We're always coming up with video ideas where we're going to collaborate on some things
dude.
Yeah.
that are gun related. There's one.
I'm still waiting for
If
one.
you're going to give it
that's a
away, I'll
movie
let you
spoof.
do it. I won't. But we've talked. There's a movie that we both really like.
Yes. I
And
can't wait for
we
that
want to
one.
do somewhat of a parody on that. And we almost started working on it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to
But
do
we got
it.
busy.
But we got to looking at it, and I said, "Look, I'll help you with this and edit it and be in it."
Devil Wears Prada. Is it?
Oh, that's not it. Yeah.
Or is it?
What is it? But we talked about doing some things like
The
that.
Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Birdcage.
There's another one we talked
And
about.
no, not Brokeback Mountain either.
They have guns in it.
No, we talked this week about, and I think I said something, making an idea about it, just making a private video and sending it around to a few of our friends on YouTube. And I had some 80s music we had picked out, and we were going to get in and act and lip sync to that music, but also use firearms in it. It's like, it's not something we would post on YouTube because the music licensing that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But thought about just sitting around with some friends, think, if we're going to take the time to do that, why don't we take our time and make something worthwhile?
Yeah.
But that would take away from everything else we're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody has all these great ideas, but we just don't move forward with them.
We should do one just to see how it goes.
Yeah.
We
You
need
know-
to make a gun version of Animal House. All of us together.
Who gets to be John Belushi?
That would be me.
That's a big.
It can
Yes,
be Belushi.
okay, yeah. You're grinning like you just can't wait for that to
That
happen.
would
Who's going to
me.
be Kevin Bacon?
I like bacon.
Bacon.
I like bacon.
I think
Not
I
the
had bacon
food.
this morning.
I think I could, if I work with my hair, I could look.
No,
like
you're
Kevin.
Thank
the
you, sir. May I have another?
Who am I?
you're
That's
the
Kevin Bacon.
Don't say
Niedermeyer?
Don't say flounder.
no.
Okay.
Look,
You're
there's
like
Brandon
the-
401 right
Hey,
there.
roll down the
Level.
window. Get that guy over here.
There's Brandon
Hey,
401.
Yes.
Hey,
That's you.
I'll work
we
with
know
that.
you.
There's somebody walking by the.
Brandon
Ain't,
401.
ain't you famous?
Can y'all give me a ride?
Y'all need.
Are you
need a
lost?
ride?
Yeah, we need some more ammo.
More ammo.
That sounds like an addiction to me, boy.
Pointsters shot it all trying to split one playing card.
Yeah.
Now, Brandon 401, do we need to talk about this? Do we need to talk about this? So
it's true that all your videos are fake.
every single one of them, they're all fake. They're all edited. They're
except
green
the one,
screen.
except the one that I filmed
His
for.
channel is done because, I mean,
steroid abuse.
Combined, how many subscribers do you think we have here? Everybody combined.
Well, we add an extra 8, so
You've
Whatever
got
you
8.
come up
We
with,
got
add 8 to it.
so-
Okay, how many you got, Tommy? 9?
Subscribers?
Yeah,
11 or 12.
11 or 12.
Yeah.
So combined, if everybody posts a video of Plinkster shooting all this ammo to split one playing card, his channel's done. It's over.
You know what? That's a great point. Oh, man.
Hey, Brandon, I'm rolling the window up on you now. See you,
Because
man.
we're not going to edit it.
So you hold him hostage for some ammo?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, there's an MP5 over there that I want to go shoot before they put it up. So,
I think Plinkster's
they're out of
ready to go.
ammo.
Thanks, guys, for coming on.
all right, thanks for having us on.
For having us again.
No problem.
All right.
And as always, left hand, keep your loved ones close.
And your firearms closer.